Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin today by emphasizing a critical truth. Your life is the result of the choices you make, especially the people you allow into your circle. You are not just a product of your efforts alone, but of the people who influence your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. You see, not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Not everyone should have access to your dreams. In life, there are individuals who may appear to be well-meaning, but their intentions are not aligned with your purpose. They may seem harmless at first, but over time, their influence will derail your progress, drag you into negativity, or drain your energy. Guard your environment. Your environment is the fertile soil in which your dreams grow. You must decide what you allow to take root in your life. If you let weeds, people who sow doubt, negativity, and confusion, take root in your mind and spirit, don't be surprised when your dreams begin to wither. Let me tell you this, not every person is meant to walk with you on the journey to your destiny. There are individuals who will not understand your vision, and that's okay. They will question your decisions, criticize your path, and even attempt to sway you off course. But you must stay steadfast. You cannot allow their doubts to override your faith in your purpose. It's essential to recognize the power of influence. Every person you meet, every conversation you engage in has the potential to shape your thoughts, your emotions, and your future. And not all influences are beneficial. There are toxic influences out there. People whose words, attitudes, and behaviors are designed to undermine your progress. These individuals will pull you down into the quicksand of mediocrity and self-doubt. They will try to convince you that what you're pursuing isn't worth it. They will place limitations on your dreams. But let me remind you today, you are not defined by the limitations of others. Stay away from them. Stay away from those who don't see the greatness in you, who only see your flaws and mistakes. Stay away from those who live in negativity, because negativity is contagious. It will steal your energy, cloud your vision, and prevent you from stepping into the greatness you were created for. Now, this does not mean we should isolate ourselves completely, for there is strength in relationships that are built on mutual respect and shared purpose. But there are times when you must distance yourself from certain people, even if they are family, friends, or colleagues. If they are unwilling to respect your purpose or contribute positively to your life, you must protect your peace and your future by letting them go. There will be moments when you find yourself walking alone. Do not fear solitude, for it is in isolation that clarity is born. When you are by yourself, you can hear the whispers of your purpose without distraction. When you are alone, you can recalibrate, refocus, and get back on track. It is in the quiet moments of solitude that you come to understand who you truly are and what you're truly meant to do. Your purpose is precious. It is the essence of who you are and the reason you were placed on this earth. Do not allow anyone or anything to take you off course. Protect your dreams. Protect your purpose, and stay away from the negativity. Stay away from the distractions. Stay away from those who would lead you into doubt or despair. Your destiny is too important to be dictated by the opinions or actions of others. The environment you find yourself in has an incredible power over your life. It shapes your thoughts, influences your decisions, and molds the way you see the world. We often think of environment in terms of physical space, the buildings we live in, the cities we inhabit, or the neighborhoods we reside in. But the true environment that impacts us most profoundly is the one created by the people around us. Think about it. The people you associate with, the conversations you have, the energy that circulates within your circle, all of this forms your inner environment. If you are surrounded by people who inspire you, who challenge you to grow, who believe in your potential, your own thoughts will naturally begin to shift toward possibility, purpose, and success. You'll find yourself reaching for higher levels of excellence, thinking bigger, and pushing yourself beyond what you ever thought was possible. That is the power of a positive, nurturing environment. But on the other hand, if your environment is filled with negativity, criticism, or pessimism, your mind will be constantly bombarded with doubt. The people you allow into your life can either fuel your ambition or stifle your growth. Every conversation with someone who undermines your dreams, who mocks your efforts, who constantly points out what's wrong rather than what's possible, creates an emotional drain on you. This kind of environment will discourage you, distract you, and keep you rooted in mediocrity. Think of your environment like soil for a seed. If you plant a seed in poor soil with little to no nutrients, it will never thrive. It will struggle to grow and may even wither before it has a chance to bloom. But when a seed is planted in rich, fertile soil, it finds the nourishment it needs to flourish and reach its full potential. Your thoughts, your dreams, your goals are like seeds. And the people and influences around you are the soil. You must ensure that the environment around you is fertile, filled with positivity, support, and encouragement for your dreams to grow into something meaningful and impactful. We have to recognize that the people we choose to engage with shape our inner world. This doesn't mean we have to cut everyone off who isn't in alignment with our goals. But we must be discerning about where we invest our time and energy. You have to ask yourself, does this person encourage me to reach higher? Does this relationship push me to think more clearly and act more decisively? Or does it leave me feeling drained, doubtful, or uncertain about my worth? We must be proactive about guarding our environment, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. As you continue on your journey, you'll face challenges and setbacks. And it's during these times that your environment will play a critical role. The people you surround yourself with will either lift you up or bring you down. They will either be a source of strength and encouragement, or they will introduce seeds of fear, doubt, and hesitation into your thoughts. The voices you listen to, the energy you allow into your space, and the perspectives you allow to shape your thinking, all of this will directly impact how you respond to adversity and how you approach your future. In essence, you must take responsibility for your environment. You cannot afford to allow negative influences to dominate your surroundings. In fact, sometimes the hardest decision you will have to make is to walk away from certain relationships, not because you don't care, but because your future depends on the quality of the environment you cultivate. There will be people who will try to drag you into their drama, their fears, or their comfort zones. You must protect your mental and emotional space and make the conscious decision to surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries, who support your growth, and who challenge you to be better. The truth is, we cannot control all of our circumstances, but we can control who we allow to influence us. Guard your environment, not just in terms of the people around you, but in terms of the energy, the attitudes, and the thoughts that shape your world. The more you protect your environment, the more you empower yourself to walk in your purpose, fulfill your potential, and create the life you were meant to lead. Toxic influences are often subtle in the beginning. They don't appear as monstrous or immediately harmful. Instead, they wear the mask of familiarity, comfort, or even love. At first, these influences may seem harmless, perhaps even well-meaning, but over time, they begin to poison your thoughts, your ambitions, and your relationships. The danger is that they often make you question your own worth, your abilities, and the very path you are walking. A toxic influence is any person, situation, or environment that drains you, discourages you, or actively works against your growth. It's an energy that pulls you downward instead of lifting you upward. It's an attitude that fosters fear, insecurity, or doubt, rather than hope, confidence, and belief in yourself. Toxic influences can come in many forms. A friend who constantly criticizes your ideas, a family member who tells you that your dreams are unrealistic, a colleague who undermines your hard work. They can also be internal, like self-doubt and negative thinking that arise from external pressures. The impact of toxic influences is often invisible at first. You might not even notice that you're changing, that your energy is being drained, or that your thinking is becoming more negative or self-limiting. But the effect is cumulative. Day by day, conversation by conversation, you begin to feel smaller, less confident, and less sure of your own potential. These influences begin to cloud your judgment, stifle your creativity, and inhibit your progress. In fact, the more time you spend around toxic people or in toxic situations, the more you may begin to doubt your own instincts. These influences tell you that you're not enough, that your dreams are foolish, that the challenges you face are insurmountable, or that you don't deserve success. And little by little, their voices drown out the whispers of your own purpose, your own vision, and your own calling. One of the most insidious aspects of toxic influences is their ability to make you second-guess yourself. You may find yourself constantly apologizing for your ideas or feeling the need to justify your decisions. You begin to shape your thoughts and actions to seek the approval of those around you rather than trusting your own judgment and staying true to your vision. Over time, this can erode your confidence and create a life that's based on pleasing others rather than fulfilling your own potential. Toxic influences are also often characterized by manipulation or control. Some people don't just discourage you, they actively try to steer you away from your purpose, whether out of jealousy, insecurity, or a desire to maintain control over your life. They may try to convince you that your aspirations are unrealistic or too difficult. They may impose their own fears onto you, projecting their limitations onto your future. In their minds, it's not about you and your success. It's about keeping you in a place that makes them feel comfortable, in a place where they don't have to confront their own fears and limitations. We have to understand that toxic influences don't always appear as obvious threats. They often masquerade as concerned friends or family, but the truth is, they are not truly concerned with your well-being. They are concerned with their own comfort, which may be threatened by your progress. They may not want to see you rise because your success may shine a light on their own lack of progress. Or it may challenge their own limitations. Toxic influences can also manifest in the form of habits and thought patterns that we adopt from those around us. The more time you spend with people who speak negativity, doubt, and fear into your life, the more likely you are to internalize those same beliefs. You begin to believe that success is for others, that your dreams are too big, that you are not capable of achieving greatness. These toxic patterns become ingrained, and breaking free from them requires conscious effort and an intentional decision to reframe your thinking. But the most dangerous aspect of toxic influences is how they distort your sense of self-worth. When you are constantly surrounded by people who question your abilities, belittle your goals, or offer no support, you begin to believe that you are unworthy of success. You begin to settle for less than you are capable of achieving, accepting a life of mediocrity because you've been led to believe that's all you deserve. Toxic influences thrive on this belief. They feed on your insecurity and help perpetuate a cycle of self-doubt. To break free from toxic influences, you must first recognize them for what they are. It requires self-awareness and honesty. Ask yourself, does this person, this environment, this relationship bring out the best in me, or does it bring out my worst? Does it challenge me to grow, or does it keep me small? Do I feel empowered and encouraged, or do I feel drained and defeated? These are critical questions to ask when evaluating your surroundings. Once you recognize these toxic influences, you must take action to remove them from your life. This doesn't always mean severing relationships entirely, especially if they are with family or close friends. But it does mean setting boundaries, protecting your time, your energy, and your focus from negativity. It may mean limiting exposure to certain people, or even it might also involve confronting the toxic influences directly, calling out the negativity, and making it clear that you will no longer accept the undermining of your dreams or your worth. You cannot afford to let toxic influences dictate the course of your life. You must take control of the energy you allow into your space, because that energy will either help you grow or hold you back. Stay vigilant and guard your mind and spirit from the destructive forces that seek to control or discourage you. And above all, always remember that you are worthy of the best that life has to offer. No one, no influence should ever make you doubt that truth. The power of influence is one of the most profound forces in the world. It shapes the way we think, the way we feel, and the choices we make. Influence is not just about what people say, it's about the subtle, often unspoken way they affect the trajectory of our lives. Every person you encounter, every conversation you have, has the potential to either uplift you or pull you down. The power of influence is invisible, yet it's everywhere, and it's constantly at work, whether we recognize it or not. Influence works on a deep psychological level. It can come from the people closest to you, those you interact with daily, or from media, society, and even your own internal thoughts. Often we don't realize how much we are being influenced until we step back and reflect on the patterns of our lives. Think about the last major decision you made. What factors influenced that choice? Was it the advice of someone you trust? A conversation you had? The media you consume? Or was it your own deeply held beliefs? These external and internal forces of influence shape our behavior, our actions, and ultimately our destiny. One of the most powerful sources of influence is the people we surround ourselves with, the individuals we allow into our lives, whether friends, family, colleagues, or acquaintances, carry a certain energy, a certain belief system, and a way of thinking that inevitably impacts us. We become like the people we spend the most time with. If you're surrounded by individuals who have a mindset of abundance, who believe in growth, who challenge you to think differently and pursue greatness, then your own mindset will naturally begin to shift in that direction. You'll begin to take more risks, pursue bigger goals, and approach life with a sense of possibility. The opposite is also true. If you spend time with people who have a limited view of the world, who think small, who doubt their own potential and yours, their beliefs will start to infiltrate your thinking as well. Their limitations become your limitations. Their fears become your fears. Their lack of vision clouds your own clarity, and you begin to believe that what they say is true, that your dreams are too big, that success is for others, and that you should play it safe. The people around you shape your thinking, and the more time you spend with people who don't encourage growth, the more you begin to accept mediocrity as your reality. It's not just the direct influence of others that matters, it's also the subtler ways in which the world shapes us. The media we consume, the books we read, the messages we hear on social media, all of these forms of influence play a significant role in shaping how we see ourselves and the world around us. The images and messages we see on a daily basis can either inspire us to dream bigger or reinforce the belief that our current circumstances are the best we can hope for. What you expose yourself to on a regular basis will either push you toward your goals or keep you tethered to where you are. When we talk about the power of influence, we must also acknowledge that influence is reciprocal. It's not just about how others affect you, it's also about how you affect others. Influence is not a one-way street. It flows in both directions. You have the power to influence the people around you. Every interaction you have with someone is an opportunity to either lift them up or bring them down. You have the power to inspire, to challenge, and to encourage those around you to believe in themselves and their potential. The words you speak, the energy you bring into a room, and the way you carry yourself can inspire others to think bigger, act bolder, and strive for greater things. But influence is not always intentional. Sometimes, without even realizing it, we influence those around us simply by the way we live our lives. Your own attitude, your actions, and your mindset are constantly sending out signals to those around you. If you walk with confidence, with purpose, and with a belief in your dreams, that energy will naturally attract others who resonate with that vision. Conversely, if you walk in doubt, with uncertainty, and with a lack of faith in your own potential, that too will influence the people around you. You teach people how to treat you, and you teach them how to believe by the way you conduct yourself. The power of influence can also be seen in the way our beliefs shape our actions. Your beliefs are the foundation of your behavior, and often we don't even realize how deeply ingrained they are. If you believe that success is out of reach, that you're not worthy of achieving your dreams, that the obstacles in your way are insurmountable, then your actions will naturally follow suit. But if you believe in your potential, if you believe that you were created for something greater, that the challenges you face are stepping stones rather than roadblocks, your actions will reflect that belief. Belief is the root of influence. Your own beliefs about yourself and your abilities are the most powerful influence you'll ever encounter. The great thing about influence is that it can be harnessed. You can decide to place yourself in environments that elevate you, that challenge your thinking, that inspire you to grow. You can seek out relationships with people who have a vision for the future, who are walking in alignment with their purpose, and who believe in the power of possibility. But equally important, you must also guard yourself against negative influences. Those voices, whether external or internal, that tell you that you can't, that you're not good enough, or that your dreams are impossible. You have the power to shape the environment of influence around you. You can choose to be the person who influences others in a positive way, who lifts others as you rise, who encourages those around you to step into their greatness. And you can choose to allow only those influences into your life that align with your values, your dreams, and your purpose. The power of influence is real. It shapes us in ways we may not always see, but its effect is undeniable. Understanding its power allows you to navigate your life with intention, to create the conditions for success, and to build a future that reflects the greatness that lies within you. Your purpose is not just a guiding star, it is the very reason you exist. It is the unique blueprint of your life, the specific contribution you are meant to make in the world. Your purpose matters because it is the key to unlocking the fullest expression of who you are and why you are here. When you live in alignment with your purpose, everything in your life begins to have deeper meaning. The challenges, the setbacks, the triumphs, all of them begin to make sense in the context of the greater mission you are called to fulfill. Your purpose is the foundation upon which you build your life. It is not just a career or a role you play. It is the essence of your being, the thing that fuels your passion, your determination, and your resilience. When you are clear about your purpose, you approach each day with intention. Every decision becomes more purposeful. Every step becomes more directed. And every action you take is aligned with your true calling. You stop wandering aimlessly and start walking with clarity, knowing that what you are doing is in service to something greater than yourself. But your purpose is not something you can take lightly. It's not something you can put off for later or hope will unfold at some vague point in the future. Your purpose demands attention now. It requires that you step into it with urgency, with commitment, and with conviction. The world needs what you have to offer, and the longer you delay fulfilling your purpose, the longer you deprive the world of the gift that is uniquely yours. Your absence, your hesitation, your unwillingness to act not only deprives you of fulfillment, but it also deprives others of the impact you were meant to make. Purpose is not just about what you do, it's about why you do it. It's about the passion behind your actions, the reason that drives you to give, to create, to serve. There are many people in the world who may do similar things, who may walk similar paths, but there is no one else who can bring the unique perspective, the unique drive, and the unique expression that you do. Your purpose is what separates you from the crowd and makes you invaluable to the world. It gives your life a sense of urgency, a sense of importance, and a sense of worth that cannot be found anywhere else. When you live on purpose, you stop living for the approval of others. You stop seeking validation from people who may not even understand your journey. Instead, you start to live for the fulfillment that comes from knowing you are doing what you were designed to do. You are no longer swayed by the opinions of others, but instead you are anchored in the deep conviction that you are walking in your truth. There is peace in purpose because it gives you direction. It removes the distractions, the noise, and the confusion about what you should be doing. Your purpose acts as a filter. Everything that doesn't align with it begins to fall away naturally. One of the most beautiful things about purpose is that it is not a static, one-time discovery. It evolves with you as you grow. Your purpose is not just a destination, it's a journey. It's something you refine and redefine as you mature, as you encounter new experiences, and as you develop new skills. Your purpose may take on different forms at different stages of your life, but its core remains the same. And as you move through life, You begin to see how all the different pieces of your story, your past struggles, your triumphs, your failures, and your lessons are all connected to the greater purpose you are called to fulfill. You see, your purpose doesn't just matter for you, it matters for the people around you, for the community you serve, for the world at large. Your purpose is part of a greater tapestry, a larger picture that spans beyond your individual life. The impact you make, no matter how small or large, ripples outward. You may never fully comprehend the extent of your influence, but that doesn't make it any less significant. When you live your purpose, you inspire others to do the same. You give them permission to pursue their own dreams, to discover their own calling, and to live a life of intention. Your purpose also matters because it anchors you during difficult times. Life will challenge you. There will be moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. You will face opposition, setbacks, and obstacles that seem insurmountable. But when you are grounded in your purpose, you have a solid foundation to stand on. It becomes the reason you keep going when everything else seems to be falling apart. Your purpose acts as a wellspring of strength. It reminds you that your journey is bigger than any one obstacle, bigger than any temporary challenge, and that your life has meaning even when the path is not clear. Purpose gives you the courage to push through when others would give up. It propels you to take risks, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to take bold action even when the outcome is uncertain. When you are aligned with your purpose, you become unstoppable because your actions are fueled by something far greater than fear or doubt. They are fueled by the belief that you are doing exactly what you are meant to do. Your purpose also demands that you grow. To fulfill your purpose, you must become the best version of yourself. You must confront your fears, overcome your limitations, and develop the strength, wisdom, and resilience required to fulfill your calling. Your purpose challenges you to break free from mediocrity and to step into the fullness of who you were created to be. It requires that you continually stretch, evolve, and expand. It will not let you remain stagnant, and it will not allow you to settle for less than your highest potential. In every area of your life, from your personal relationships to your career, your finances, and your health, your purpose acts as a compass. It aligns your actions with your values, your thoughts with your intentions, and your efforts with your vision. When you understand your purpose, you become more intentional about every aspect of your life. Whether your purpose matters, because without it, you live in a state of confusion, disconnected from the deeper reason for your existence. But when you embrace it, when you align with it, your life becomes a beacon of hope, inspiration, and possibility, not only for you, but for everyone you encounter. Your purpose is the key to unlocking a life of fulfillment, impact, and legacy. It is the foundation for all that you are and all that you are yet to become. Self-worth is the bedrock of everything we do. It determines how we show up in the world, how we allow others to treat us, and how we perceive our value in relation to others. When you know your worth, when you truly understand that you are deserving of respect, love, and success, you begin to make choices that align with that belief. You start to live your life from a place of confidence and strength, not from a place of neediness, fear, or insecurity. Your self-worth is not contingent upon external validation or approval. It is intrinsic. It comes from within. It is the deep understanding that you are enough as you are, that your presence on this earth is significant, and that your contributions matter. But knowing your worth is not just an abstract concept or a feel-good affirmation. It is a mindset that translates into real action It's reflected in the way you carry yourself, the decisions you make, and the relationships you nurture. When you value yourself, you refuse to settle for anything less than what you deserve. You stop seeking validation in unhealthy places. You stop allowing toxic influences to dictate how you feel about yourself. Not talking about looks on the outside, but in here. The mindset that translates into real affirmation is really where you live and breathe and create an arena scene. Instead, you begin to demand respect and love from others because you know that you are worthy of both. Many of us struggle with self-worth because we've been conditioned to seek external approval. From an early age, we are taught to gain validation from our achievements, our appearance, and how we compare to others. This creates a false sense of self-worth, one that is fragile and easily shaken by failure, rejection, or criticism. But true self-worth comes from the understanding that you are valuable simply because you exist. Your worth is not determined by what you do or how others perceive you. It is inherent. It is unshakable. It is not something that can be given or taken away by anyone but you. This is where boundaries come into play. Boundaries are an extension of your self-worth. When you have a healthy sense of your value, you know what you are willing to tolerate and what you are not. Boundaries are the invisible lines you draw around your life, protecting your mental, emotional, and physical space from the intrusion of negativity, toxicity, and disrespect. Setting boundaries is a way of honoring yourself. It's a way of saying, I value myself enough to protect my peace. When you set clear, firm boundaries, you are communicating to the world that your time, energy, and emotions are not to be taken for granted. You are teaching others how to treat you by the standards you set for yourself. Without boundaries, your life becomes a series of compromises. You begin to put the needs, desires, and expectations of others ahead of your own. You become a people pleaser, constantly bending to the will of others, sacrificing your peace and well-being in the process. But when you establish boundaries, you take back control of your life. You stop allowing others to dictate your emotions, your time, or your energy. You stop saying yes when you mean no, and you stop doing things out of guilt or obligation. Instead, you make decisions that are in alignment with your values, your needs, and your purpose. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They are about saying yes to yourself. When you set boundaries, you are saying, I respect myself enough to honor my own limits. Boundaries protect your time, your energy, and your emotional health. They allow you to prioritize the things that matter most to you, whether that's your family, your career, your health, or your personal growth. Boundaries are protected by the idea that your time, your energy, your emotional health, your personal growth, boundaries give you the space to grow without the constant pressure of meeting the needs or expectations of others. One of the most challenging aspects of setting boundaries is the fear of rejection or conflict. Many of us are afraid that if we set boundaries, others will be upset, disappointed, or even angry. We worry that we will be judged or criticized for prioritizing ourselves. But the truth is, healthy boundaries are a form of self-respect. And anyone who truly values you will respect your boundaries. The people who are meant to be in your life will understand and appreciate that you have limits. The ones who don't respect your boundaries are the ones who are not aligned with your best interests. And those are the relationships that need to be redefined or let go of. Setting boundaries also means taking responsibility for your own emotional well-being. When you fail to set boundaries, you give others permission to treat you in ways that are detrimental to your mental and emotional health. People who don't respect your boundaries can drain your energy, manipulate you, and create unnecessary stress in your life. But when you take ownership of your well-being by setting clear, firm boundaries, you regain your power. You no longer allow others to take advantage of you or weigh you down. You make decisions based on what is best for your own mental, emotional, and physical health. It's important to recognize that setting boundaries is not selfish. It is an act of self-care and self-love. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are constantly giving and sacrificing without taking care of yourself, you will eventually burn out. Boundaries allow you to maintain balance in your life. They ensure that you have the time and energy to focus on the things that truly matter to you, whether it's nurturing your relationships, advancing your career, or simply taking time to recharge and reflect. Boundaries also extend to how we allow others to speak to us, treat us, and make demands on our time and energy. If you are constantly surrounded by people who criticize, belittle, or disrespect you, it is crucial to establish boundaries around those relationships. You have the right to walk away from toxic people, even if they are family or close friends. You do not have to tolerate negativity or disrespect in any form. Setting boundaries means protecting your mental and emotional peace, even if it means creating distance from those who do not contribute positively to your life. In practice, boundaries can take many forms. It might mean saying no to requests that do not align with your priorities, or taking time for yourself when you need rest. It might mean setting limits on the amount of time you spend with certain people, or limiting the kinds of conversations you engage in. It might even mean walking away from a situation or relationship that no longer serves your well-being. Whatever form they take, boundaries are a vital tool for maintaining your self-worth. They empower you to live a life that reflects your values, your goals, and your sense of self-respect. Self-worth and boundaries go hand in hand. When you truly value yourself, you will naturally establish boundaries that protect your well-being and allow you to live authentically. You will no longer tolerate being treated in ways that diminish your value. And you will actively create space for the people, experiences, and opportunities that elevate you. Your self-worth is the foundation upon which your boundaries are built. And when you honor both, you step into a life of strength, clarity, and personal empowerment. There is a unique strength that emerges in isolation, a power that is often misunderstood and overlooked in a world that constantly pushes us toward connection, collaboration, and social validation. Isolation is not always a place of loneliness or despair. In fact, when embraced properly, it can be a space of profound personal growth, reflection, and transformation. It's in these moments of solitude, away from the distractions and noise of everyday life, that we truly tap into the strength within us. In isolation, you are forced to confront yourself. When the external world fades away, you are left with only your thoughts, your feelings, and your inner dialogue. This can be uncomfortable, even unnerving for many, because it requires facing the parts of yourself you may have been avoiding. Yet, in this silence, there's a unique opportunity for self-discovery. The distractions of others, be it their opinions, their judgments, or their expectations, no longer influence you. You are free to hear your own voice more clearly. You begin to realize that you are not defined by the opinions of others, but by the strength and clarity that comes from within. Realization offers you the space to truly reflect on your life, your choices, and your purpose. It is in these moments of solitude that you can assess whether you are living according to your true values, or if you have been living to please others, seeking approval, or avoiding discomfort. Isolation allows you to disconnect from the noise of the world long enough to reconnect with the voice of your own heart. It is here that you can reevaluate your goals, adjust your trajectory, and tap into a deeper well of wisdom that has always been within you. Far from being a place of weakness, isolation can be a wellspring of clarity and direction. Another powerful aspect of isolation is that it fosters a deeper sense of independence. In a world that often encourages dependence on others, whether it's for emotional support, affirmation, or guidance, there is immense power in standing on your own. Isolation teaches you to rely on yourself, to trust your own judgment, and to find peace within yourself without needing constant reassurance or external validation. It forces you to build a relationship with yourself, and that relationship becomes the foundation for everything else in your life. You begin to realize that you are enough, that you have everything you need within you to face life's challenges, and that true strength comes from your ability to navigate life from within, rather than depending on the validation or opinions of others. Strength in isolation also comes from the opportunity to focus deeply. When you are isolated, free from the distractions of other people's needs or the demands of the outside world, you have the chance to focus fully on your own thoughts, projects, or pursuits. It is in isolation that your creativity can flourish, your ambitions can be refined, and your ideas can come to life. With no one else to impose their distractions or agendas on you, you have the freedom to be fully immersed in what matters most to you. This concentration and focus can lead to a level of productivity and progress that is not possible when you are constantly pulled in multiple directions. So for all of us, community to me, conscious builds country. Isolation allows you to develop resilience. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of adversity, and isolation, when chosen intentionally, can be a training ground for developing the mental toughness needed to face these obstacles. When you learn to be at peace with yourself in moments of solitude, you develop an inner strength that allows you to weather the storms of life with greater ease. You learn to be comfortable in your own skin, to trust that you can handle whatever comes your way, and to stand firm in your convictions. This resilience is not something that can be cultivated in the midst of chaos or distraction. It grows in the quiet, solitary moments when you're forced to rely on your inner resources. While many fear isolation because it seems like a form of abandonment or failure, those who embrace it find that it is often in isolation that they discover their deepest strength. The solitude allows you to shed the layers of external expectations and societal pressures that may have clouded your true vision. You begin to realize that the validation you seek from others is not nearly as important as the validation you can give yourself. You no longer need to conform to the expectations of others, because in isolation, you reconnect with the authentic self that is often drowned out by the noise of society. Isolation also provides a space for healing. Life is filled with emotional wounds, whether from past relationships, unmet expectations, or unhealed trauma. And isolation gives you the opportunity to address these wounds. In the quiet, you are able to process your feelings, reflect on past experiences, and gain perspective on your own healing journey. Isolation is a place where you can rebuild, renew, and restore yourself. It is a space to let go of old patterns that no longer serve you and to cultivate new ways of thinking, being, and living. The healing that happens in isolation is not the absence of pain, but rather the strength to face it, understand it, and allow it to transform you. The strength in isolation also lies in the power of self-discipline. When you are isolated, there are fewer external distractions pulling at your attention. You are no longer easily swayed by the opinions or needs of others, and this allows you to cultivate a higher level of discipline. Isolation requires you to take full responsibility for your own actions, decisions, and progress. It forces you to develop habits that are aligned with your goals and values, and it pushes you to grow beyond the limitations you may have placed on yourself in the past. In isolation, there's no one else to blame for your shortcomings, and this accountability to yourself creates a deep sense of personal responsibility and strength. Now, perhaps the most profound strength of isolation is that it teaches you how to be content in your own company. We live in a world that often associates worth with social validation, connection, and external achievements. But isolation forces you to confront the truth that true contentment comes from within. When you can find peace and satisfaction in your own company, you become less reliant on external circumstances or the approval of others for your happiness. You learn to embrace solitude as a source of nourishment, growth, and strength, rather than seeing it as a burden or a punishment. There is a certain power that comes from learning to stand alone, from finding your strength in the quiet moments when no one is watching and no one is there to tell you who you should be. Isolation teaches you to be self-sufficient, to rely on your own wisdom, and to cultivate resilience and inner peace. Far from being a place of weakness or loneliness, isolation is a powerful tool for personal growth, healing, and transformation. It is in these moments of solitude that you discover not just who you are, but who you are capable of becoming. Isolation is not the enemy. It is the soil in which your inner strength can grow. It is in the quiet, the solitude, and the moments when you are alone with yourself that you are given the opportunity to truly see who you are and what you are capable of becoming. Isolation does not have to be a place of despair or fear. Rather, it can be a sanctuary where you reconnect with your purpose, refine your vision, and build the resilience necessary to face the world with renewed strength. Embrace your time alone as a gift, not a punishment. Know that within the stillness there is wisdom waiting to be discovered, creativity longing to be unleashed, and peace that transcends all the noise of the world. Your ability to thrive in isolation is not a sign of weakness, but of immense power. The power to stand firm in your own truth, to heal, to grow, and to move forward with unwavering clarity. Your greatest strength often emerges when you are alone with yourself. In isolation, you discover that the most important relationship you will ever have is with yourself. When you learn to stand strong on your own, you are better equipped to face the challenges of life, to inspire others, and to live with a sense of purpose that cannot be swayed by external circumstances. So, do not fear isolation. Do not run from it. Embrace it, for it is in those quiet moments of solitude that you will find the strength to rise higher than you ever imagined. The power to transform your life is within you, and sometimes it takes being alone to truly discover it.